Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you guys to a very, 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 very important person that I know very well, grew up together, Judy Clark. Judy Clark, welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi, thanks, OC. I'm good, thanks. And you?
Very well, very well, very well. One of the reasons why I'm having Judy Clark on this show is basically to understand sleep patterns. Judy is passionate about helping families get sleep, the sleep they deserve for their health, their well being, and their sanity. We all know that sometimes without good sleep, we behave differently, we behave funnily. But Judy, tell us about your services. Tell us who you are and about your services, Judy.
Yeah, well, OC, I've been a sleep consultant for about 10 years now. And my passion is just working with families, helping them learn the true value of sleep. Because by knowing the value of it, then you're going to look at it differently and start focusing on establishing healthy sleep habits for their children, babies, teens, adults. I work with all age groups. There's no discrimination when it comes to sleep hygiene. So, yeah, all ages.
Now, let me ask you this question. How did you find yourself in this business of sleep consulting?
I know everybody asks me this because it always fascinates people. Um, but basically, I found myself in this by just being a mom when I had my first daughter.
Mhm.
Prior to this, I call it my past life. I actually worked in customer service.
Okay.
So in my previous career, I was heading up contact centers.
Okay.
And my last one was quite a large organization here in the UK. But when I went off on maternity leave and got pregnant, and everybody gave me words of wisdom about how I'd never sleep again because of my child,
Right.
I thought, okay. And when this baby arrived, oh, yes, she did tell me, she taught me that she had her own agenda. So it was sheer frustration, anxiety. You could call it depression. I was just so low because, as you know, I don't have my mom or family here I could call on. So it just got so upsetting that I had to find out why this baby wouldn't sleep.
Right.
So I started researching, talking to medical experts, and long story short, I discovered that you can get the sleep you deserve, even as a baby. As
so
a parent, you don't have to spend endless nights awake.
so you found yourself in this career path based on necessity, pretty much.
Yeah, I actually call it a calling. It was my calling, and I thank my daughter for it because, yeah, she taught me a very big lesson. And children come here to teach you things.
That's right. Well, we're happy to know this because I know you work with clients in the UK, across the world, in the US.
Yeah.
So you are in Kent in the UK, correct?
Yeah, I'm based in Kent, in England. They call it the Garden of England. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm in the garden, but I do work with clients all over the world. In fact, last week or a couple of weeks ago, I finished with a client in Virginia, in the States.
Right.
But I work with a lot of clients in Dubai, Kenya, Singapore, England, yeah, all over the world, basically.
So walk us through a client engagement. Let's say how does someone get a hold of you and start the process of you working with them?
Well, obviously now, because I've been doing this for so long, 95 of my business is word of mouth.
Okay.
So a lot of people will just contact me and say, hey, we heard about you. We just want you to help us. That's it. Um, but others, it's social media and all that, or doctors. Doctors will send the little babies or families to me. But I've been doing this now for almost 10 years. So and I have got my website out there, so people
Yeah.
find me.
That website is called babywinks.com. Winks with a Z, with a Z, yeah. Baby
Exactly.
WINKZ.com. In the States,
Yeah,
call it a Z, not a Z. Hey, it's
yeah,
it's how things go. So
yeah.
if I was to ask you, what are some of the reasons why babies don't sleep? Why do babies cry a lot? Because I think that's the anxiety that, again, you talked about that when you got your daughter, and now you're talking about it, that this could be, if you solve that, then you get the baby gets sleep and you also get sleep.
Yeah, honestly, I say if once you teach your baby healthy sleep habits, and this is coming from a consultant who works with families or as a mom, it will solve almost 80% of
Mm.
your challenges in raising that baby in that time period. Yeah. Because a well-rested person is a different person to an overtired person. Um, but why parents find it challenging is firstly, and this is something I had to learn, is no baby arrives here knowing how to go to sleep. Okay. The- they arrive here sleeping, yes, because that's what they do when they're in the womb. They will spend a lot of time sleeping in sleep state. But at the time that in the womb, their sleep cycles are very distorted, they're chaotic, there's no set pattern to it. And when a baby arrives here, there is a transition window that takes place where their sleep cycles will start to evolve and get a pattern to it so they mirror an adult.
Mm.
Okay, so there's a science to it, you can't deny it. So once that baby gets to that window where their cycles evolve, which is usually by 2 months old, their sleep patterns will shift, they'll start to shift.
Right.
And this is where your baby starts to use their gift. Okay, I call crying a gift.
Because they're communicating with you, right? That crying is a communication, right?
Exactly. I don't know what they were briefed when they were up there. If you're hungry, you need a nappy change, you're cold, you're hot, use this gift. Because I don't know what they're going to teach you, English, Swahili, French, but for now, use this gift. So when things start to shift and the baby sleep cycles are adjusting, this is the window where parents start to notice a change. And the baby's getting a bit more irritable. And I get moms telling me about colic and all these other things. But actually, it could be time that the baby now needs to learn how to go to sleep because something has changed. Does
Mm.
that make sense?
It does. It does.
So, from this point forward, because these babies don't arrive with a little manual in the packaging, as a new parent, mom or dad, and you think, oh, they're upset, and you start bringing in dummies or pacifiers, as you call them, or slings or rocking, then you start teaching the baby that this is what I will use to help you sleep.
So when you're working with parents, what's the most common thing you notice when when they reach out to you? What's the one thing that just makes them say, "I need your help"?
The one thing that actually makes parents come to me a lot is as this baby is getting older,
Mhm.
um, usually by the 7, 8 month mark, the parents are just so exhausted. And what used to be maybe one wake where the baby could quickly have some milk or have a dummy and go back to sleep, this baby is now waking for longer. Their 5 minute wake is now a 1 hour wake. And the parents are just on their knees because they're tired. The husband's maybe moved into another bedroom. It may be that they're having a bit of arguments because who's doing the shift, who's working all day, who's with this baby all day. So they're just so tired and exhausted, and they're thinking, surely by now this baby should be sleeping. He's on solids,
Yeah,
he's gaining weight, he's thriving. Why is he still waking, Judy? You know? So it's as the baby is getting older, it's just becoming more.
man, this is interesting information because I know the next question I have in my mind is how long does it take to start teaching a child sleeping patterns?
Oh, God, it's so easy. I work with clients for 2 weeks. My program is a 2 week program. It's out there. It's on my website. I work with clients for 2 weeks. I really don't want to work with you longer because in 2 weeks, your baby will learn. I always say babies are great students. They're a blank canvas, you know?
Mhm.
So whatever you're teaching them, they're just waiting to absorb it. So the younger they are in that window, 2 week program, as your baby gets older and they go into the toddler years and the preschool years, then yes, I may have to work with them a bit longer because it can take the body 3 to 4 weeks to adjust, but 2 weeks, 2 weeks to teach them the skill,
Okay.
and 3 to 4 weeks for them to settle into the routine.
Now, you we've talked about kids, and I know you also work with adults. Adults actually suffer from a lot of lack of sleep.
Yes.
How do you work with adults? Is it also 2 weeks, or for adults, does it take longer? Does it take 21 days to form a good habit, or what's your approach as a consultant there?
I actually say, the younger the client, I even tell my parents this. I tell them, your babies are the best clients. It's the parents. They're the hard work. Um, but the older the person is, yes, it can take longer because your brain is so caught up in this cycle. Um, so when I do work with adults, it's a 4 week program. It's not a 2 week fix it. It's a 4 week program, and we're talking a lot about lifestyle because when we look at adults, we're looking about your lifestyle, the hygiene, your sleep hygiene. That's what I'm referring to. We talk about, your workload. What kind of work are you in? What's your career like? What's your workload like? We're talking about technology influences.
Right.
So your exposure to social media, all these wonderful gadgets that we use now. So there's a lot of things as adults that we're starting to use that are actually putting our sleep hygiene at a huge detriment.
Okay, so let's let's take a typical 9 to 5 person. Okay,
Mhm.
they get from they get home from work. Well, we're working remotely now because of COVID. Some people can work remotely. Let's just say, when do you tell people that it's time to put away the electronics? When do you tell people it's time to shut down, right? And then just quiet down. I find that very hard, especially because people are doing multiple things. They're teaching kids online. They're taking classes online. When you finish work at 5, some people are teaching online. Some people are taking courses to become more certifications. How do you balance that out?
Okay. The first thing I'll tell you, and this is what I say to my adults, whether it's the parent or the adult client, is first you have to look at the value of sleep, all right? So sleep is a basic human need,
Okay, tell us more,
not a
Judy.
luxury,
Yeah.
okay? Just like food, air, water, shelter, you need sleep. You cannot survive without it. Full stop. So your body may decide, you know what, I'm gonna not eat for 4 days. I'll do this great diet, this fast. I'm not gonna eat. But there is no way, OC, you're gonna say I'm not gonna sleep for 4 days because your brain is gonna say to you, you may have other agendas, but I'm going.
I'm out.
So firstly, let's respect sleep. It's a basic human need. Okay. Now,
Mhm.
with that said, one of the biggest threats that came to our sleep experience was the invention of the light bulb technology. So, as humans, as we've advanced and we've brought all these gadgets, and we're no longer going to work 9 to 5, we're going to work overtime. What that has done is it's made us start changing our mindset and viewing sleep as a luxury. Okay. But what happens is there is a programming in our brain, our pineal gland, that goes right back to caveman days that will actually dictate when your brain needs to go to sleep because you need it. You need it for survival. So, if you want to start establishing healthy sleep habits, one thing I say is as an adult, we need to avoid the screens, the blue light exposure at least 2 hours before your bedtime. So, and I know you're going to be like, oh,
I
these people
don't
are studying it.
Yeah, I'm already thinking 2 hours for bedtime. Okay, people may put away the cell phones, people may put away the iPads or the Microsoft Surface Book Pros, whatever the case is, MacBooks, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then people want to catch a glimpse of the telly, right? People want to catch a glimpse of, hey, what happened today? What happened on the news? What's what?
Oh, don't get me started on the news. I told you about the news.
So 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 you're telling people to switch off everything pretty much.
Yeah, you know, okay. This is what I say to people. If you're having a problem with your sleep experience and you're seeing it as a problem and it's affecting your life, you're feeling depressed about it, you're feeling irate, you get worked up, anxiety when it comes to bedtime, and you're really not liking that experience, then you need to work on it. And if you're going to work on something, if you want to change things, you have to change the way you look at them. So you need to give your brain this opportunity. So a 1 month where you dedicate and you say, I'm improving my relationship with sleep experience. So when you're going into this, you have to look at what outcome are you looking for. So yes, I'm saying 2 hours, but this is somebody who's coming to me who's it's really affecting their life. So
I
you're ready to make that commitment.
I think there's many people that are trying to take shortcuts to sleep. Let me fix myself a scotch, one or two. Before I know it, it's three or four. Or hey, let me just have myself a glass of wine, 2 glasses of wine. Before I know it, whoo, that bottle. Where did that bottle go? Is this thing leaking? Is there someone drinking this wine with me? Adults usually take the edge off, right?
Mm.
What are the negatives about doing that, and impact, and how does that impact your sleep?
Well, as an adult, actually, if you're thinking of, I need to get to sleep, let me have 2 glasses of wine or a few brandies, what that actually does is, yes, it will put you to sleep quite quickly because what happens is, if we look at them as sleep soldiers, so the, the guys in the brain who help you go to sleep, and I like putting it in very layman terms because if you look at it, it can get quite complicated, and I want our listeners to understand. What happens is when they get this huge hit of alcohol, yes, it'll knock them out and you will fall asleep quite quickly. But what the body does is you actually, well, the brain, you go into a very deep, poor quality sleep. And what will happen is a few hours into that journey, they wake up thinking, what the hell just happened there? I was forced to go to sleep.
Um,
And this is where you get people waking up at the 2, 3 a.m., after you've had a few drinks and 4 hours of sleep. And I hear people telling me, Judy, I wake up, I'm sweating, I can't go back to sleep, I'm feeling hot, I feel awful. It's that wine effect. Yeah, because that was premature falling asleep. It wasn't something done naturally. You had something there to knock you out, but that's not the solution.
it was induced by the
Yeah, it was induced, but in a very bad way because the alcohol does not help you. Then you've got the big hangover to deal with the following day.
yeah, man. Look, it's tough as adults. We're trying to do many things, but what I'm actually hearing is make sleep a priority. Very important.
No questions asked. I'll never, we spend, people spend thousands on all these beauty products. And I'm saying this as a woman.
Yeah.
And I say this to all women, when actually sleep is a God given natural anti aging magic ingredient. So it does so many wonders for us.
Look, this is amazing. Listen, her name is Judy Clark. We need to bring you back, Judy Clark. Email address is babywinks.com, winks with a Z or a Z. Judy, tell us any parting words of wisdom.
Well, my parting words of wisdom are, we're all over the world going through this crazy time with this COVID lockdown. If you guys out there are thinking how you can improve your health, maintain your great health, then one of the key ingredients is sleep. We repair our immune system while we sleep. we do so many wonders while we're in sleep state. So that should be a priority on your self-care in preserving your health. Get some great sleep.
Judy Clark, fantastic. Thanks a lot. This has been fantastic.
Thank you. Sleep well.
Thank you very much. We'll bring you back later for, I'm sure we're going to get more people calling us for this, but I'll let you know about that. All right? Take care.
Thanks. Bye.